Hello, you wonderful people. So I initially recorded this video and partially edited it before releasing the video on the history of Japanese wikis, which came out 4 days ago. If you haven't seen that one, do feel free to check it out. Hopefully you find it entertaining. But for those of you who did see it and who were very supportive there, or even if you just watched it and didn't like it, what's the hand sign they usually do nowadays? Like, much love everyone. I do hope you guys enjoyed that. Obviously this video is not gonna be anything like that. This is the other type of videos that I release on this channel, which is mostly talking about anime events that happen in Japan, because there are a lot of those. In fact, there are probably at least 1 or 2 every single month, so even trying to go through all of them is taking quite a while. But this video is more an update for one of the biggest anime events in Japan, as well as some of the speculations that have been going around within Japan with regards to the event. So if you are interested in this type of videos, hello! I hope you enjoyed this one as well. And if you want, don't worry about it. There will be more of the other types of videos like the wiki history one or me talking about bad Japanese games coming in the future as well. So you can look forward to those. Anyway, that said, we're here to talk about Comiket and the announcements for the Comiket. The coming Comiket in August, so let's talk about that. So we're about less than 2 months away from the next Comiket. As you all know from the type of videos that I've been putting up this whole time, I'm the kind of person who's most likely going for it. Kinda excited to see how much things have changed compared to the last time, since this is really just the first Comiket they'll be holding that has been held quite far away from the original opening up of the country in general. So in the video I made about the last Comiket, I did mention that the way that this current Comiket will be held would probably change quite a bit by virtue of the fact that the country is opening up more and more at the time. The ways that they can hold the event then and now would be very different due to the fact that things are a little more lax now. However, there were some things that I speculated might actually stay on and that I would prefer have actually stayed on, and some of those things have actually come true. So I'd like to talk quickly about what has changed for the upcoming event, and if you're coming from overseas, some things you might want to take note of if you are planning to come over. So the first thing, and this was something that I was quite favorable of in the last video, is the fact that this Comiket will also be paid entry, which for those of you who know of the event and have been to it for years, decades, boomer years maybe, since the event has been going on for almost 50 years at this point, you would know that this is an event that up until maybe 4-5 years ago, time is like sand, it no longer makes sense anymore. No longer makes sense anymore. Okay. But yes, for the longest of time, the event has been free entry, but in order to reduce the number of people that would actively turn up at the event during the pandemic, they made it paid entry only, thereby allowing them to restrict the exact number of people that could enter the event. And one thing that I mentioned about how much the event had changed due to the paid entry is the fact that it got rid of a lot of the problems that came with the way people were queuing for the event, and as a result, it made queuing for the event and actually entering and enjoying the event something that was more of a possibility. There are no longer many issues with people rushing off the trains, potentially injuring themselves after the first train hits. So the fact that by virtue of them setting this thing, they managed to get rid of it. So you're gonna have to pay to enter the event still. I don't know if they'll keep this up forever going forward, but it would seem on their official announcement at least that they were quite happy with the fact that they managed to cut down the number of people queuing at illegal periods of the day, and so they were planning to keep it for this time. You know, especially to all the scalpers who used to come overnight to buy stuff to resell overseas or in other parts of Japan. Suck it! Suck it! No more scalping for you, or at least you're gonna have to pay a decent amount to scalp with no chance of success, so you people can eat it. Feels good. I don't know, maybe I'm getting too passionate about like scalpers getting fucked, but as someone who has had to suffer due to the fact that these very, very deplorable people used to just go ahead of you in the queue, and where the store does not set an amount of like a purchase limit, they just buy out the entire stock of shit. The fact that these people are gonna get screwed over as well, It was great, you know. You know how like the dwarves and like fucking Warhammer, they have a book of grudges where they write down every single little shit that has pissed them off over their entire life, and it's just there until they settle the grudge. This is that for me. Where like all I wanted to do was buy a single keychain, right? A single keychain, just one. I went to the store, I queued up, only one dude in the queue ahead of me. He bought 50 of it, mind you, 50. There's no way a single person is gonna use all of that. Even if you wanted to build a, what do you call those bags again? The tote bag with the transparent thing you can put your shit in. I don't remember what it's called. Horrible, just horrible, that dude. It got so bad, right? Because like there was literally no one else in the queue at all. That the company itself actually at the time was like, yeah, we're sorry that it ended up like this. How about we'll send you one, like as a pre-order of sorts, to your address of your choosing, and you can just get it then. So I did get it in the end, but still horrible. That took me like 3 months and a lot of expensive shipping to get over at the time. So I feel I'm getting way too triggered about this, but yeah, scalpers are not gonna be in as good a place as they are before. Like if you were the kind of person who, like me many years ago, made the mistake of like queuing up overnight just because you wanted to beat the scalpers in the queue because the whole event did not reward being a reasonable and polite person well enough. This new system actually benefits you, although, yeah, admittedly, you have to pay money to enter now. So that sucks, but you're saving hours of your life that you would have otherwise put into harming yourself. So I would say it's a win. Nah, there's no justifying that for people who really just want to enter and buy one book and leave, since the most casual of people obviously will be hurt by this. But then again, most events, if not all other anime doujin events, also charge for admission anyway, so this ain't something exactly new. Although in terms of accessibility, particularly for people coming from overseas, I can see why it would suck as well. Though arguably there may be other reasons behind this as well, but most of the rest of that is largely just speculation, so we'll go into it maybe a bit towards the end as it ties into the other points as well. So, good news for you guys living overseas though. They actually did it. They actually did their job this time. After messing up the whole queuing system for the whole ticketing thing for the past 2 Comikets and all the complaints, they actually fixed it. So now you guys as well can actually purchase the early tickets and all the earlier tickets as well if you want. There is no longer that weird disparity that existed before, where if you came from overseas, you kind of only could purchase the early afternoon tickets, not the early tickets, and on top of that your early afternoon tickets were like the leftover-ish ones, since the sale began at the same time as the second bidding period for the in Japan sale, so that's a great thing. Application for the tickets for cosplaying as well as for the early tickets begins on June 27th, so a few days after this video goes up. Hopefully you'll see this video in the first few days it comes out, because the early ticket begins sales on the 27th of June up to July the 4th. So by the time this video goes up, it is definitely on sale already. I think I'm recording this on the 27th itself, so definitely not gonna make it for that day specifically. But if you're interested in going for the event and you really have a reason to want to go early, you may want to look into purchasing the tickets now. I guess I'll put the link here and in the description in case you guys want to see where to purchase the tickets. This entire page is in English, so it should help make it a lot easier to navigate as well. Then for those of you who don't feel like tryharding too hard or only want to try hard one of the 2 days, the AM tickets and as well as the PM ones begin sale on July the 15th instead. So quite a while after the entire process for the early tickets is completed, and this one goes on up till August the 13th, so pretty much up to the event itself. So there isn't as much rush if you just want to purchase the more casual ticket timings, since a lot of them actually wrap up sales in the first few hours of the event. So you might want to actually remember either way to at least purchase the AM tickets if you want to see what the event is like a lot better. But yeah, the sales of the tickets seem to be fully online as well from Ticket Pay, so you can probably get it there if you want. I don't think there's anything you need to worry too much about, since this is specifically oriented for people from overseas to purchase, so at the very least it shouldn't be too problematic in terms of the strangeness of it all. Typically 2 months ahead is around the time that you want to start preparing. Like for those of you who are still on the Cursed Bluebird website, you might notice that a lot of the Dojin circles are already announcing what booth number they have gotten within the building itself. So you can already start doing most of the pre-research of what you want to see there if you're actually planning to go down, and therefore it might also be a good time to start planning out when to get the tickets as well and start to keep an active lookout for that. Now, for the second big thing, and this doesn't apply to you and me very much, but it's something that was announced and was more applicable to the circles themselves when they applied, was the fact that unlike in previous Comikets, this was the first time where they actually announced that they will allow circles to purchase a much bigger allotted space than before. Essentially, in the past where one table would be split between two circles, now they're giving circles the ability to apply for a full table instead to ensure safety in terms of proximity and all that, which is a little odd considering the fact that for the previous few Comikets where the pandemic was actually a problem in a much greater scale, this wasn't a thing and only is now. But as a result, we might see that there are fewer circles than the last few Comikets, and this ties into the previous point before where there has been speculation going around that perhaps Comiket on overall might not be doing as well as it used to be. And this has been something that, according to the number of entrants in the event during Comiket 101 is compared to 100. And there have been speculations that as a result, due to the reducing number of people attending and participating, that the paying for the tickets, the allowing circles to pay for a slightly bigger table and stuff like that, is all a way for them to cover and minimize the losses that they would otherwise incur. At the very least, these are the two things that they have so far announced about the event, which has led to this level of speculation about it as well. Was there anything else? Let me think for a second. Oh yeah, the Dojin Circle web catalog should already be up on the web catalog website. If you are interested in seeing what circles will be actually attending, you can see it there now, I believe. You just need to set up a free account and all that. I believe the paid account gives you a bit more accessibility, but everything is accessible for free, so you can take a look at that. The web catalog for corporate booths that are attending, because, you know, some companies go there, set up very big and grand booths selling limited edition stuff that's only available at the event, so some people go specifically for that. That should be available somewhere in the middle of July. Usually by the time it's actually announced, these tickets have already been on sale for the entry itself. So either way, there's not much point in waiting for the corporate booth catalog before you decide whether or not to buy an early ticket or normal ticket or to not attend altogether, because by the time that information comes out, it's already too late. So you might want to just ignore that as the reason to purchase your ticket. Really just look at it as a Dojin event first and corporate as a bonus if you really have something you want there. Since either way, we don't know who's attending yet in terms of that, and none of the corporations themselves have announced on their end either. But yeah, that's all I have to say for this video. This was a very short one, I know. It's mostly just to put out there what is gonna be happening for this event specifically, as far as the knowledge, as information is out there right now. So hopefully it helps somebody. If you are going for the event, do make sure to check out the epic trains, which are probably gonna be there. No, you don't have to worry. I don't think anybody has any books about banging trains just yet. I hope there isn't, at least. If you happen to go this time, do take note of all the very interesting non-anime circles as well if you're interested. So I don't know when this video is gonna release yet, but one thing I can say is that it will definitely release after the 27th of June for the simple reason that I don't think I can travel back in time to release it before that. That said, I'm still working on a separate video coming out this weekend, the one I was originally working on, which is an update to a previous video I talked about. Kind of a long-ish kinda one, hopefully not too long, since the last video took quite a bit out of me and I need time to work towards the next long video as well. But yeah, that is the plan for now. And then like sometime in the middle of the week, I'll be releasing quite a few of the videos about some of the events I went to in the past, since those are really starting to pop up and I kind of want to release them before Comiket as well, so hopefully I can get that done. But yeah, if there's anything else you want to ask about the event itself, do feel free to ask me either in the comments of the video or on Twitter, I guess. You can add me or DM me. I think DMs are still open since I don't expect too many people to ask me questions there. But For now, that is all you need to take note of. I'm also looking out at the information for it, so I'll just put it out on Twitter if there's anything important to take note of. But aside from that, yeah, this is pretty much everything you need to know for now. So I'll be heading off now. Take care and bye-bye.